Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring, and I would like to welcome Dr. Lavanya, who recently received the corrections for her speaking and writing sections of the OET examination and aced the OET examination with the tremendous scores. She achieved 430 in listening, 410 in speaking, 390 in writing, and 380 in reading, and it was her first attempt itself. And achieving these much scores in the first attempt itself is a blessing, and she worked really harder. But firstly, I would like to congratulate her, and then I'm going to ask a range of questions to her so that we can gain some of her real examination experience, which can be definitely helpful for the people who are watching this video. I would like to congratulate you, Lavanya. Well done. You have done a wonderful job, and I'm so proud about you.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
It was it was possible mainly because of your help. And then last 2 weeks, it was like the whatever happened is really magical, and I
Oh,
should thank you for that.
oh, thank you so much. So you took the corrections only for 2 weeks before the exam, isn't it?
Yeah, to be exact, it was like 18 days when I
Yep.
came to know about you, and
Mm,
to my exam date. It was just a 18 days gap,
okay.
and like the main thing was I didn't know about your tutoring course till then. I
Mhm.
booked my exam almost like 1 month before the exam date. I just booked my exam and I started my preparations.
Okay.
But for the first 15 days, as you know, you go to YouTube, you see all the routine channels that are available, and
Mhm.
they give you all the the corrections, and they have some prototype recordings. I
Yep.
just was seeing those things. The problem I'll say is I don't know whether to say this as a problem, or maybe if you can do more of marketing, I think many people will be benefited, sir. Really, I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I
because in
understand.
YouTube we are not able to see this. You can tutoring any of this,
Mm,
so many people don't come to know about this.
mm.
Luckily, one day I just saw one similar success story video in YouTube.
Oh,
So
okay.
I happened to see that, and that was actually a nursing video. Then I
Okay.
searched again through the same channel, and I got
Okay.
one doctor's
Wow.
success story video. So
Okay.
then I came to know, okay, you're giving a training, and from there I pulled out your number,
Wow.
and then I tried contacting you, and that's how it all happened. I wish I had known about your the tutoring program a little earlier.
Mm.
I think I would have scored A in everything.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
watching another doctor's success story has brought you now for your success story. So
Yeah,
it's
true.
really amazing, to hear, your story anyway.
Yeah,
And
when you
yep.
approached me after after I told you about the result, and you
Mm,
approached me asking for a video about the success meet, I
mm,
was very happy, and I thought, okay, fine. One doctor story inspired me and made
mm,
me achieve this. So at
mm.
least I should inspire one person at least. So let
Wow,
me
wow.
oblige for this. That was a
Thank
thought
you
that
so
I
much.
had.
Thank you so much, Lavanya. I'm really impressed, with your attitude and your helping tendency. Okay. So the
Yeah,
first thing I
thank
would
you.
like to ask you is, how did you pass OET in your first attempt? Because many people are struggling to achieve their desired scores. Even they are not able to get 350 in three subtests and 300 in writing in
Mm.
their first attempt. But you have achieved really impressive scores. Achieving 430 in listening is really close to A grade, and then 410 in speaking, 390 and 380. These scores are truly inspiring, to everyone. I can tell you this. And how did you manage to pass in your first attempt itself? I'm really surprised, to look at your scores. So what actually made you to achieve these scores? What do you think?
To be frank, I guess I had been studying in English medium right from my schooling,
Okay.
so I'm little bit okay with normal English vocabulary and grammar. Maybe
Mm,
the accent and the way they express in United States or in UK, that
mm,
may differ. That was the thing that I was lagging. Apart
okay.
from that, my grammar vocabulary, where I hope they were a little better.
Mm,
So that helped me a little, and I'm being a doctor, I had been practicing medicine also. So
Wow.
communicating with patients and then getting their feedback. And now these days, even if you practice anywhere in India also, most of the patients communicate only in English.
Mm,
Whatever may be their mother tongue, they talk to the doctors in English only.
mm,
So with that, we have a little bit of experience also.
mm,
But the real problem was with this writing and speaking,
mm,
because writing, the problem with my doctors and writing is we are used to writing as very
mm.
small hints development kind of thing, like we
That's
just
right.
bullet points.
Abbreviations, yeah, abbreviation, short
Yeah, bullet
forms.
points.
Yes.
We write everything in bullet
That's right.
points so that we
That's right.
can, we can, yeah, cut short the timing, as well as the amount of notes that we write will be very
Mm,
vast. So we
mm,
want to make it crisp. So we
mm,
are used to doing it. Even for exams, we are used to writing it as bullet points.
mm,
So that was a real challenge for me. Writing
mm,
here, the scenario was totally opposite. They give a
mm.
bullet point and I have to write expanded. So it was like
That's crazy, isn't it?
yeah, that was really,
Yeah.
when I booked my OET, the main issue was I was wondering how am I going to do this?
Yep.
That was
Yep.
my main challenge,
Yep.
which I would say I overcame that mainly because of your corrections and the way
Wow.
you
Thank you.
pinpointed all each and every error I made, and though
Mm,
the word by word correction that you
mm,
gave me, that
mm,
helped me a lot.
mm. So many people say that OET is really hard to pass, especially in the first attempt. Do you think it is really hard for you when you have prepared?
No. Once you're prepared, I think it is not a very tough exam. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing is the preparation time and the way in which you prepare matters.
Mm,
Some people, when I started when I first booked my exam, and initially I started looking at some of the YouTube channels wherein many of the students were saying how I prepared for OET.
mm,
There it was like little crazy. One
mm,
person was saying I prepared in 2 days, I prepared in a week's time. I was
mm,
wondering how is it possible in one
mm,
week's day, because in a week's time we won't even be familiar with what is the exam format.
mm, mm, mm,
You should know, for reading there are three
mm,
subsets, there are
mm,
three sections, and in
mm.
section A they'll be taking away your question paper within
Yep.
15 minutes. You have to answer
Yep.
20. For to
Yep.
get
Yep.
familiarized with these things
Mm,
itself, it takes a week's time.
yep.
So uh, the thing is, first you should get yourself familiarized with what is the pattern, and you
Yes.
have to do many practice tests on your own for
Yep.
reading and listening
Yeah.
part
Particularly.
concerned.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's right.
And
Mm,
for writing, you have to write a lot of letters. You have to keep writing again and again.
mm,
And the main thing is what I feel the mistake many people do is they just write and they just leave it. You have to get it corrected by someone,
mm,
particularly by some experts like you,
mm.
because
Thank
they
you.
know what is the exact pattern that is expected in the
Mm,
exam.
mm.
And so only then we can change, make can correct your errors. Just
Okay.
by writing the letters again and again and just going on
Mm,
is of no use.
mm,
Even if you
mm,
do two or three letters, you should
mm,
get it corrected by some experts, and
mm.
you should try to correct whatever errors you had made already, and
Mm.
make sure that you don't make the same mistakes
Mistakes
again.
again and again. Mm, okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's
And when you have received the first letter corrected by me,
yeah.
what was your thought? What did you feel?
Yeah, I remember the first letter I was assessed as 290.
Mm,
That was the score that you gave me, and
mm,
I was like, yeah, I can improve on it. That was my thought.
mm,
And the
mm,
mistakes, that the way in which you pointed out my errors, like point by point, right from
mm.
the to the doctor, from that
The
there, I
recipient.
the first letter, yeah, I made errors, like I punctuated after everything, doctor so
Mm,
and so, punctuation,
mm,
comma.
mm,
Then the second line, comma, I
mm,
was doing that because
mm.
in our school days, the letter writing, to be
Yes.
frank, from
Mm.
school time, this is the next time I'm writing a letter. There we used to do English
Okay.
composition, letter writing, leave
Yep.
letter, those things. After that,
Yep.
we are writing here only. So we are
Yep.
not used to it, and we just forget it. So I was
Mm,
just punctuating everything.
mm,
So the first letter, you from that point you started
mm,
until you are sincerely doctor. Till then, you
mm,
made
mm,
corrections every point,
mm,
every line. And
mm,
So from then I learned, okay, fine, I shouldn't do this. So that kind of
mm,
basic errors in
mm,
punctuations and
mm,
the even the date of birth, I was writing as the BIRTH. I used to write BS small, like
mm,
small letters. You
mm,
mentioned that it should be
mm,
caps. So
mm,
from then I changed it. So
mm.
these are, when you
These
see them,
small
they're
things,
all
yep.
just
Mm,
small errors. But
mm.
if we keep on
All together.
repeating that, that's
Mm.
going to cost you a lot of marks.
That's
So we
right.
shouldn't make that errors.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all these errors together make a compound effect, which can decrease your
Yeah.
score dramatically.
Yeah.
That is what many people are not aware of. Okay, they simply
Yeah.
keep on writing down the abbreviations such as
Yeah.
DOB. Although you
Mm.
see some sample letters in the official
Yes.
website that have DOB, it is highly
Yes.
recommended to expand it, because if you notice the writing task section, they might have
Mm.
written down like this: do not use note form. And what is my
Yeah.
note form? Note form is the abbreviation, which means you should
Yeah.
not write down DOB. All right. And
Yeah.
many people do not do this anyway. And
To
yeah,
be
that's
frank,
fine.
there are many YouTube videos, like even the official OET
Mm,
website videos, wherein they suggest saying if it is given, if an
mm,
abbreviation is mentioned in the question paper, you
mm,
can write it in the
mm,
answer paper. That's what
mm.
some of them say.
Yes,
But I don't know, or the scoring system will affect it. So
of
it is
course.
better that we do
Exactly.
not, we don't use any abbreviations at all. If
That's
we
right.
have
That's
that
right.
as a practice, then we will not make that error.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good strategy. Okay, I would definitely tell you that expanding those abbreviations will not cost you marks. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that. It will definitely increase it. But if you write down abbreviations only, then there may be a chance that your score may be affected. Okay, that's really,
Yeah.
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 So,
The
mm,
some students, they are little carried away by the word count, so they
mm,
think if I write it as an abbreviation, the word count will come down. But that's not going to happen, because
mm,
in OET, as far as OET concerned, they are not very strict about the word count. If it is
mm.
like they allow 200, then they can give you an allowance up to 220.
Yeah, that's
So
right. You're
it's
right.
not that, yeah, so it's
Mm,
not that only the date of birth DOB is going
mm,
to cost you the word count.
mm,
But if you write it as a DOB and they find out that it's an abbreviation, they
mm.
may reduce the marks for it.
Yes, yes.
Compared to
We
the
should
word
not.
count, this is going to
Yes.
cost more of
That's right.
marks.
That's right.
Yeah.
We should not give even a single opportunity for the examiners to deduct your score. And your
Yeah.
word count starts from the introduction paragraph only. Okay.
Yeah.
Although, so you should not be really worried about, expanding the DOB to
Yeah.
date of birth. Okay. So that's really
Yeah.
important to write down. And so you got 290 only in your writing for the first letter,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
what did you do after receiving the correction for the first letter? And before you start writing down the next one, what did you do in
Yeah.
between?
I took the same letter which I had sent you, and I
Mm,
had the side by side. I had the corrections which you had mentioned,
mhm,
and I used to take a pencil and write it in the same letter. Whatever mistakes I had done, I'll circle them, and
mm,
I'll write down it again,
mm.
so that I'll make sure that I register whatever errors I had done and what should be it in the next letter. So
Wow.
I make sure I do it again. At
Mm,
least two times I write the letter again
mm,
completely.
mm.
Even
That's
whether
amazing.
one time maybe I'll see and write, and next time
Mm,
I'll make sure I just write it on my own without those errors.
mm.
Only then, only if these things are okay, then I move on to the next letter.
Wow,
So
that's
in that way,
amazing.
I'll not repeat my errors.
Okay, that's amazing. And
Mm.
what was the highest mark I have given you for your writing subtest? I know I
Yeah.
might have been little bit cruel
No,
in
just
terms
don't
of
say
giving the
cruel. It
marks.
was like
Yeah,
I saw a gradual improvement in my score, so I won't call
sounds
it
good.
cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially it was 290, and
Mm,
slowly it moved on to 310, 330, and the last letter before one day before my exam, I remember
mm,
it was like
mm.
350. That
Wow.
was the last score I got.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you have scored 40 marks more than what I have given you, isn't it? So to
Yeah.
the people watching this video, I sincerely request you to send me your first letter and first role play for a free correction. Okay, at least try to utilize this free service. There is a code saying there is no such thing as free lunch, but there is a free correction for your first letter and first role play, to at least identify where you're losing your marks. Okay, where you
Yeah.
may lose your grade, so that you can identify them and you can rectify them. So that's going to be of great help for you. And this is what exactly Lavanya has done. And I would like to add an interesting thing, that all my doctor students have passed, their OET examinations, with impressive scores, just like the ones achieved by Lavanya. And so it's amazing to have such a nice story. It is always great to listen to others' success stories, because in the world where we are living in, there's a lot of negativity going around us, and it is really essential that we need to keep us motivated. Okay, so by listening to other students who have been practicing for the OET examination, just like you can listen to their experience, and the way they smashed the examination can actually infuse the energy into you, and then you can prepare really very well and you can pass as well. All right, and that's one of the main reasons why I have been posting these kinds of videos. Anyway, so you have scored 430 in listening, Lavanya. So how did you make it happen? This is amazing. So you see, many students struggle in listening. They are not able to get even more than 300, but you have got really close to A grade in listening, which is really impressive. So what you have done in the listening subtest?
Well, actually, to be frank, I didn't do any much extra, but
Okay.
I'm used to, wearing my headphones and listening to many podcasts as a
Okay.
routine, not for OET. As a
Okay.
routine, I used to listen to many videos, and for any other exam preparations also, when I'm working or doing something else, I used to wear my headphones all the time, and I'll be listening to something. So initially, I used to think that that's not very effective. Only 80% is going into my brain, and the others are all getting here and there. But as days go on, I thought, okay, fine, at least that 80% is there. Okay, fine, fine. So that used to be my habit, not for OET, but as a routine. I used
Yep,
to listen
sounds
to
good.
something or the other every day.
Yep.
And when it came to OET, I just took a few of the listening sample exams already available in avenues like Telegram and
Yep.
WhatsApp. There are few
Yep.
groups there. They have the model listening videos. I mean
Mm.
audios. So
Yep.
I just used those things. I used to do at least one listening one day. The other day I used to do a reading. So
Mm.
I was doing some alternate things.
Mm.
Speaking and writing also I used to do the same. So
Mm.
each day, if I'm doing listening in the morning, I will do writing in the night, in the
Wow.
evening,
Mm.
and the next day I'll go for the alternate reading and then speaking.
That's amazing.
So
Yep. Mm.
you can't you cannot overload your brain with all four on the same day. That
That's
will be of no
correct.
use. You'll finish off
That's right.
everything, but nothing would have gone into the
The
brain, and you cannot
the
make
beneficial.
any change in the next exam or in the
That's
next
correct.
day.
It will
So
indeed disappoint you, if you don't score well. Okay, if you put,
yeah.
everything together in one day, you have been consistently, I mean, your
Mm.
brain's concentration power will,
Yeah.
decrease actually over a period of time. So it's
Yeah.
better to have some breaks, in between them, and then
Mm.
you practice. I know, lots of people are practicing incorrectly. They do take, one
Mm.
test from each subtest. Okay, I mean, one
Mm.
listening, one reading, one speaking, and one writing every
Yeah.
day. All right, amidst their busy work schedule, and it is
Mm. Mm.
incorrect. Please stop doing that. It is really important to understand the errors. Once you get the
Mm.
corrections for your speaking and writing, take a couple of days, try to analyze them, try to read those errors, okay, and understand those errors so that you don't need to commit them again. That's what you got to do.
Mm.
Anyway, so you have got 410 out of 500 in speaking, which is still B plus grade. Okay, so it is close
Mm.
to A grade as well. If you get another 40 marks, it could have been A
Mm.
grade anyway. So what was the the score for your first speaking role play from me, and what did you feel after receiving the correction for your first role play?
Yeah, I felt very terrible about myself because I was not very good in speaking. That
Okay.
too, I had a tough time getting people to enact with me. Getting a
Okay.
role player or an
Yep.
interlocutor was a very tough job,
Okay.
and so getting things done and talking. And most of the interlocutors that we select will be known to us. So
Mm.
a kind of you don't feel like opening up to them and talking to them like an examiner.
Mm.
So that kind of hindrances I had, and
Mm.
recording. To be frank, it was like shooting. So it is
That's
something new for us. Yeah,
it's like,
recording and
it's like a
sending.
race. Okay, once they say ready, 1 2 3 start,
Yeah,
and you have to start speaking.
it's literally like
Yeah.
having a camera in front of you and asking
Yeah.
you to act.
Yeah.
And most of these role plays are, you don't do them in real life scenario, most of them.
That's right.
Like the way in which you talk,
Mm,
obviously we talk with patients, but not
mm,
in this kind, because we are used to talking to patients. If they say I have this problem, then we ask them, okay, fine, how many days, what's the
mm.
problem, that is how
That's
we
it.
go. But
Mm,
here you have to show empathy, you have to say
mm.
sorry for. I
You have to-
initially I was like literally crazy. I was like, when
Yep.
if the patient says I have diarrhea, why the hell should I say sorry? That was the question thought in my mind. Then I realized, okay, fine, this is the way these people are expecting. So the
Yes.
empathy, sympathy. So here we are
That's right.
assessing your communication skill and the
Yes.
way in which you
Grammar.
show your
Yeah,
empathy.
everything,
So
connectivity,
yeah,
vocabulary. Yeah, there's a
yeah.
lot. It's
So
not
then
just an English language test. It is going to test your clinical skills as well. I mean,
yeah,
how patient you are, how compassionate you are, how kind you are. And
mm,
many people do not understand this aspect of their speaking assessment criteria. So they do not
mm,
use, polite phrases and, the words that can, make them satisfied. Okay, so you got to just say, I apologize for the inconvenience, I'm
yeah,
really sorry to hear that. So those kinds of phrases are quite critical to be used. Yes.
mm.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So the first speaking role play that you corrected for me, I remember you gave me almost a list of corrections, like almost I
Yes.
think 11 or 12 errors, and it
Yep.
was like a long list, and the score
Mm.
was 300.
Yep.
I was like, okay, fine, I should improve on speaking. I realized
Mm.
from then on, I made it a point that even if whether I send or not an audio to you, I
Mm.
will be just recording in my mobile,
Mm.
just speaking to myself, even without
Mm.
it. Sometimes I don't find an interlocutor, so I'll have the roll card in front of me. I will
Mm.
play both the roles, both as
Mm.
myself as well as as a patient.
Yep.
So I'll talk, I'll record it, and I'll listen to it again and again. I'll
Mm.
see, okay, fine, here I'm making this mistake. I'm
Mm.
giving a false start. I'm
Mm.
giving an
Background
background noise.
noises.
These things,
Yep.
yeah, these
Mm.
things I should avoid.
Mm.
So those things, and the main problem that I had till my last role play was I was not managing my time.
Yes, yes. I was about to tell you that.
Yeah,
You
I
took
was not
actually more
managing
than
my
more
time.
than six
Yeah,
minutes and 7 minutes,
yeah,
and that was one
and
of the, yeah, one of the warnings from me, right? Isn't it?
yeah, yes. Till the last letter, the
Mm,
main
last role play.
correction that
Mm,
you were saying was you have to manage your time, make sure you cover all the bullet points. That was the thing. The first role play, I took exactly 9 minutes.
mm.
From then, I was trying to cut short, cut short, cut short. And last role play that I did with you,
6 minutes,
still
I
it
think.
was 6 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
But in the exam, I made sure that I'm not going to talk a lot. I should finish all the bullet points. Thankfully, I had two role plays, and one role play, I finished everything. I made sure I summarized also and said thank you before the time was over.
Wow,
So
that's
that
amazing.
was the,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
The second role play actually it
Mm,
had a lot of some 6 or 7 bullet points, so
mm,
I wasn't able to finish the last one. So I
mm.
thought,
But that's
okay,
all
fine,
right.
at least one.
Mm,
Yeah, that's maybe because of the lengthy role play, so you are
mm,
allowed to skip one. So
that's
I
fine.
convinced
Yes.
myself.
As
Mhm.
long as, as long as you are able to understand, the patient's concerns, and as long as you are
Yeah.
able to try to address those concerns, you should be
Mm.
fine. Even if you miss one role play, you should not be panicked during the role play.
Yeah.
It's all right. Okay, even if you cannot conclude it, it's absolutely fine for
Yeah.
one of the role plays. Okay,
Yeah.
so that shouldn't be an issue, and you have done a very good job. Yes, please
Yeah.
continue.
Mm. And what I would say for everyone is, uh, how, all of us will be taking a model role play card and
Mm,
we'll be practicing the role play.
mm,
But you should also practice the warm up session with somebody.
mm,
That also helps, because once you enter the speaking session and they
mm,
ask you some warm up questions, if you are comfortable in that session, I'm sure the rest of the session will be very smooth, and you will
mm.
not get anxious, and you will not be bluffing.
Yep.
Once you're confident that you have done your warm up session well, then you can do the real time role play well. That's what I felt.
Mm,
And even that you can talk with your friends. And there are few YouTube channels also that have I can even suggest a name.
mm,
It's like Mihira.
mm,
I'm not sure if how many have seen.
mm,
They have only animated kind of role play sessions.
mm,
More than the role play sessions, the introduction warm up sessions also they have. That is actually very good both for nurses as well as for doctors.
Okay, good.
Maybe they can have a look at it, have, get the what are the questions, model questions.
Mm,
They can have a note, and with that they can prepare with their friends.
mm,
That is of great help. Everyone will feel comfortable if they finish the first half well,
mm,
because once you're inside the inside the role play
mm.
chamber, you are
Yep.
like first 10 minutes they are going to check your id, they're going to talk to you, and then the warm up session. If that 10 minutes is comfortably done, then the
Mm,
rest of the 15 minutes is going to be very cool. So
perfect.
that's what I felt.
Yep, that sounds good. And you have scored 380 in reading as well. So,
Yeah.
what is your suggestion to the people who are unable to pass the reading subtest?
Okay. Well, I feel I should have done little better in reading,
Mm,
because I know the problem was, as I thought this writing and speaking is going to be the big challenge.
mm,
I didn't think reading as I didn't take it seriously. That's what I should say.
okay.
Initially, I was doing reading model papers from this Telegram and other sites, and once I shifted my focus towards speaking and writing, I didn't concentrate much on reading. Well, now I feel no, I should have thought of doing more reading, and should have uh, even asked you few of the strategies, or maybe I should have joined the entire package so that I would have
Yep.
learned more strategies from
Mm,
your sessions.
mm, okay.
But anyways, no regrets. Whatever happens has happened.
Yeah, and you have
So
achieved more than what you aimed at anyway, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah.
true. And well, I say, yeah, even though I didn't take any special coaching for reading or what, one similar candidate from you. I think her name was Nitya.
Mm,
She was telling her success story. In that, she gave a tip for a strategy for reading. She
some
was
of this,
saying, the
yes.
reading, yeah,
Yep.
reading session A, you shouldn't start with the first seven questions.
That's
Go
right.
from eighth one,
Mm,
then you come back after you finish from 8 to 20. If you go back to 1 to 7, it'll be like very easy. Actually,
mm.
I came to know about this. I was listening to this only 2 days before my exam. So
My
I
God.
just listened. Yeah, it was just 2 days,
Okay.
because so I just thought, okay, fine, let me. And to be frank, I didn't try this strategy anytime before the exam. Straight
Oh,
away in the
okay.
exam, I tried this strategy.
Okay.
Actually,
Hmm.
it worked out well. I should
Wow.
say that. But
That's
I thought, okay, I should have tried it, previously. Maybe a trial
during
would
the
have
practice
made me
test.
look
Yep.
better. Yeah. The
That's right.
strategy, since I heard it, I came to know about it very late. I
Mm,
couldn't
mm.
practice it. But however, it helped me.
Yeah. Okay. So to the people, who are watching this video, please go back to, one of the videos which I have uploaded, where the nurse Nitya Soundarajan shared a lot of strategies for all four subtests. And yeah, you will definitely find that video helpful as well. Yep. All right. Yeah, please
Yeah.
go on. And during your practice reading test, how much did you score, Lavanya, in reading?
Maybe it used to be like 42. I got from initially from the first or second time when I was doing it was like 30s. Then
Mhm.
I moved till 35, 36. That was the maximum score of for
Okay,
42.
good.
Yeah.
Good. That's good. Yeah. And so how many letters and role plays did you receive corrections from me?
That was six, like five
Yeah,
were under
altogether.
the package, and one
Plus
was the six.
free one.
Yeah,
Yes.
free
Okay.
one.
Good.
Yeah, one
Good.
initial
So do
first
you
one.
think within 5 letters and 5 role play corrections, people can score 350 plus?
Yeah, I think because the
Because you
only
made it,
thing is
right?
we are not getting. So yeah,
You
I
made it
made it.
anyway.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you are a
I
live
made it.
example, I would say.
Yeah.
But many
Uh,
people actually questions me that whenever I tell them, like, you can,
yeah.
they can, grab a 5 letter and 5 role play correction
Mm,
packages, they would always reply me saying that 5 letters and 5 role plays are really are not sufficient. Okay, they're not
sufficient.
sufficient
Yeah.
for them. But do
Mm.
you think, whatever the corrections that you have received from me, for 5 sets, has it been really helpful to you? Do you think it has been helpful for you
Yes.
to get these scores?
Yeah, definitely. As I said you, the first corrections which I had sent you, and real time now the what scores that I have scored, they are
Mm,
like almost like 100 points jump. Writing
Mm.
the first it was 290, and what
Yep.
a real time I scored is 390. It's like
Yes.
100 points. This
Mm.
cannot happen only because of my efforts. If I had
Mm.
written, I can write to. And to tell you the truth, before
Mm.
I joined your correction sessions, I
Mm.
had already done all the five or six. You can see the OET official website. They have
Okay.
model corrections,
Yep.
model
Yep.
letters.
Yep.
I think they have five. I
Mm.
actually I went through all the five letters. I had
Mm.
returned them also.
Mm.
After that only I came to know about yours, and I
Mm.
came here. Even
Okay.
with that knowledge, I scored only 290.
Mm. Yep.
But
Mm.
after your corrections and the suggestions that you gave me, I had
Mm.
slowly improved, and now I
Wow.
had jumped up by 100.
That is
So
truly
obviously
inspiring.
it makes,
Mm.
yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Mm.
I think the time, the 2 weeks cutoff is not going to matter. Only the corrections that you're saying,
Exactly.
that is going to,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So in the beginning of
change
this
the
video, you
mark.
have mentioned that people are scoring, well in 10 days and 7 days. Even I
Yes.
have had many students who have achieved the desired scores in 10 days itself. So
Okay.
I would,
No, it's not. I'm not
mm,
saying
mm,
such, not
mm,
able to get in 10
yep,
days. But the
yep.
thing is, studying on their own. Whatever I saw
Yeah,
they were
that's right.
studying, I
You're
studied
right.
on my own in two
Mm,
days and 5 days. That is what
mm.
I saw.
Yes, you're right.
Absolutely. If we
You're
have a
right.
proper guide, I know you can do it even in a single day.
Yes,
But
yes.
that guidance is necessary.
Yes, that's right. And so you have had only 18 days and you have scored really tremendous scores. I'm on cloud nine, to congratulate you, Dr.
Oh,
Lavanya.
thank you, thank
It's
you.
really, it's a happy moment for me, not only for you, but for me as well.
Yeah.
See, the
Mm.
achievements, like yours actually make me go the extra mile in order to help more and more people who are struggling to pass their OET, IELTS and PT examinations around the
Oh,
world. And
thank you.
I thank you so much, for coming here and providing all the knowledge, to the students who are going to prepare in the examination. And
This is just
yeah,
a simple way in which I can show my gratitude towards
yeah,
you for
yeah.
whatever you had done in my life
Thank
and
you.
in my career.
Thank you
Just a
so much,
small.
Dr. Lavanya. I'm so
I
happy
have
that
only one small suggestion
yes,
for you, sir.
yes,
I want you to teach more and more people,
yep,
and for that, I want you to make yourself familiar in YouTube, because
yes,
most of the common people who are trying for this exam, the first resource they go in is YouTube only.
yep,
So
yep,
I want you to make more videos and
mm,
post in YouTube as a free content.
yes,
Initially, let them know about you.
yep,
Then they can come into it and then
yes,
ask you and then join the packages, those things.
yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Apart from the success stories, you can also upload one or two like basic videos about
Mm,
reading, about
yep,
listening, at least about what is the session.
yes.
And I'm sure people, if they listen to how you're talking, they'll be
Mm.
attracted towards you, and they'll
Thank you.
definitely join you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
I'm
Lavanya. And
sure
I have
you
already,
are very encouraging and
mm,
inspiring. So
sure.
please do that. I want
Yes.
you to help many people.
Yeah, definitely, Lavanya, definitely. And thank you so much for your suggestion. Well,
Okay.
actually, I have already uploaded more than 366 videos. And the problem is, I think not many people are sharing my YouTube channels with others. That could
Okay.
be the reason. Yeah. And
Okay.
so that's fine. And I also, listen to your suggestion in regards to the marketing and other strategies, in order
Yeah.
to promote my YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I'm the one, who is looking after everything, so sometimes
Yeah.
it could be really hard, but I'll try
Okay.
to do my best, in order to ensure
Sure.
that my channel is.
And one more, maybe I don't know if this will help or not.
Yes.
Without the UCAN English tutoring, in
Mm.
that if you have something like OET or IELTS something,
Yep.
so
Yep.
people roughly they just blindly they type OET and they
Mm.
search. So
Yep.
if some word, Google sometimes helps us in that way.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
that's right.
if it has anything like
Mm.
OET in it,
Mm.
so
Mm.
that OET training or something
Yep.
like that, so at
Mm.
least it may divert them towards that channel.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a good suggestion. And thank you so much, Lavanya. I'll try
Mm.
to do, at least a few of the suggestions, whatever you have
Yeah,
shared with me,
yeah.
and I'll try to
Okay,
apply
sir.
them. Yeah,
I want you to, I want you to help many people. That's why I'm
definitely.
giving all this.
Definitely. And thank you so much, for your suggestions, Lavanya. I
Yes,
wish you
sir.
all
I'm
the very best
thankful
for
for
your
you.
registration.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
thank you,
you. Have a
thank
good
you.
day. Bye.
And you too. Bye.